Everyone laughs, but some of them are trying not to yawn themselves, including me. Yay. Can't stay up forever. We decided that we'd call it a night once the replacement officers arrived. I'm sure I've survived past the time I was supposed to die. That's probably because the police were protecting me. Perhaps both Takano and the mountain dogs are also on my side, and they took care of the murderer. I don't know who is changing my fate. Maybe my fate hasn't been changed. I'm going to get killed soon anyway. I don't know if it's because of the police or because of the mountain dogs, but the only thing I know for sure is that I'm still alive. Soon, I heard the noise of someone walking on the gravel on the shrine grounds. One of my friends suggested that it might be Oishi, but I doubt it. I don't want to expect him and be disappointed when it's not. I'm starting to think like I knew.
こんばんは。沖宮署から参りました。小宮山と申します。
It wasn't Oishi. Two of his fellow detectives had arrived instead. They were going to stay downstairs, and I have the four officers return home. They also told my friends to leave.
あとは私たち警察がいますので、どうぞ皆さんは家に帰ってください。ご家族の方が心配しますよ。
みんなありがとうです。刑事さんたちが来てくれましたし、もう大丈夫なのです。
本当に大丈夫？邪魔でなければ私たちも泊まるよ。
大丈夫なのです。第一、お布団も寝巻きもないのです。じゃあ明日。これからはなるべくリカちゃんと一緒にいるようにしよう。部活はリカちゃんの家でやるっていうのでどうかな。あら、それなら素敵でございますわよ。僕たちの家の床が抜けてしまうかもしれませんです。
違いねえな。
Keep in mind if they've been planning to kill Rika, chances are they're planning it around the shrine. So maybe it would be safer for her if she stays for Sonozaki residence. And I'm sure that what's her name? Oryu wouldn't mind having Rika there.
じゃあリカちゃま、私たちこれで帰りますけど、用心してください。暗闇で一人になるなんてことは絶対しないように。
She wouldn't be going alone. She'd be going with Hanyu.
気をつけますです。じゃあね。また明日。はいです。また明日。
See you tomorrow. Am I really going to see them tomorrow? I have no clue. I've tried so many things over the past 100 years. I've done many things, and I have memories of most of them. That's why I feel so scared on the day I die. It's the only day that I have no memory of. I don't even know if I'm approaching or escaping my death right now. All I know is that this fear is going to continue until I find some kind of solution. What if the reason why her memories are always hazy that day is because she's always getting blackout drunk from all the sake she drinks on that day? As I started getting ready to go to bed, Sadako suggested I should sleep in my regular clothes rather than in my pajamas. She was thinking that I should remain dressed, just in case someone tries to attack me in my sleep. It sounded ridiculous, but she was just trying to be considerate. I decided to do what she told me to do. Sadako seemed so sleepy until a few minutes ago, but she suddenly started passionately explaining to me all the traps she'd set on the trying grounds. She assured me that strangers will end up trapped if they try to sneak inside this building. To someone else, it might sound like she was just trying to brag, but Sadako was trying to make me feel better. I guess she's trapped all the out-of-the-way places like that you would have to go through in order to sneak up. Meanwhile, the main thoroughfare is untouched, I guess. But what if they come to the main thoroughfare? Not then. After everyone else left, she noticed how scared I looked. Sadako's kindness, and everyone else's kindness. I feel it was the right decision for me to talk to my friends, even if I won't end up changing my fate. No.
リカ、
Hanyu showed up again. She looked upset, so she was probably still thinking that I could get killed at any minute. But I'm actually starting to feel a little better. Might get killed tomorrow, but I feel like I can rest safely, at least tonight. I'm more concerned about the fact that Oishi didn't show up. Even if he didn't, the other detectives are here, and will stay on guard downstairs without sleeping. As long as they're here, I think I'll be safe tonight.
どうしたの？お腹でも空いたの？出前じゃ甘いのはないからね。冷蔵庫のジュースでも飲む？
Hanyu would usually cheer right up when I suggested drinking some juice, but not this time. Her face looked pale, as if she wasn't even alive. Oh, it's soon, isn't it? Something out of the ordinary had clearly happened. Wait, what if she doesn't remember because somehow she's being attacked or something? In some way?
どうしたの？もうすぐ時間がやってきますのです。
That sounded far more like a declaration than a prediction. Even Hanyu doesn't have any memories of my death. There's no way she can tell when I will be killed. However, she sounded so certain just now. Perhaps I can feel it in the very cells of our body. Our bodies understand fate far better than we do. Up until now, I felt reassured that we could get through it somehow if we're all together. But they're not. They separated their paths and went home. But as I clung to that life preserver with the hall leaking air, I was starting to drown in a sea of despair and struggling to keep my head above water. No, I can't let myself feel that way. I have to believe.
大丈夫よ、羽生。
From memory, this is about the same night that Shion would kidnap the mayor, and so everyone's scouring the town, and so that's why they can't kill Rico, I guess. So that covers the second and fifth. Fourth one doesn't even cover the time period. She's 1, 3, 5.
私は抗う。たとえ明日殺されるとしても、今夜殺されるという運命にだけは抗う。
Yeah, full on blanked there for a second. Hanyu just gave me a look of faint sadness. That silence told me that my pitiful hope was going to push me down into a futile reality. I stared at Sadako as she continued to brag about her traps. I'm getting killed shortly. Sadako won't be safe either. I quickly interrupted her talk about traps. Ooh. The time was 1 in the morning. As it's hardly a big city, 1 a.m. in Hinamizawa is the middle of the night. The darkness here gets very deep. There was light leaking out from the first floor where 2 detectives sat on guard, but everything else was pitch black. Even the moonlight seemed indistinct.
予定時刻です。1階には刑事2名。2階は消灯してすでに1時間以上が経過します。
One outside then, I guess, because there's 3 from memory.
本部より3査。決行の判断を。
こんなに月の綺麗な夜だもの。始めなさい。
So, if it had been a horrible night, they wouldn't have had permission to engage?
刑事は排除でよろしいですか？
そうね。今夜、古出神社にいた人間はすべてが忽然と姿を消し、鬼隠しとなる。
Oh dear. I just had a thought. Who was it that first suggested never mind, yeah. I was thinking he suggested that 2 people would be deemed away. That was Shion. Because yeah, there's no way it could have been Takano, because by that point Takano was supposed to be dead. Yeah. Ah dear, I'm an idiot.
それでいいわ。
本部より大鳥。
Phoenix.
作戦開始。なお発砲は許可し。繰り返す。発砲は許可しない。
Now, why are they called Phoenix?
本部よりウグイス。大鳥が作戦を開始する。
What's been reborn? I mean, I guess Rika's supposed to get reborn in a way. But from their perspective, what's being reborn? Maybe their organization?
電話線を遮断せよ。
ウグイス了解。
So yeah, they are shutting down the phone lines.
遮断する。
They'd been working to disable the phone lines just in case the target tried to contact the police during the attack. That mission was what Oishi happened to bump into.
ほんじゃ、始めるかいね。
So yeah, just in case you didn't realize it.
大鳥は突入準備。1階の刑事2名と2階の同伴者1名を排除せよ。
But not the main target?
痕跡を残せん。発砲禁止。ガスも使えんね。テーサーを使え。単銃で武装してるぞ。撃たせるな。
おこのぎ、素人相手に手こずらないでよ。
まあ仕事ですんね。宮遣いの悲しさですわ。大鳥7、8前進。バックアップは周辺警戒を厳重にされたし。
大鳥7、了解。前進する。
2 men in uniform slowly approached the building. The mountain dog's uniform was grey, so it didn't blend in with their surroundings at all. However, it doesn't look as suspicious as real camouflage suits. Of course, they looked suspicious enough creeping up to the house like that anyway. They could both see light leaking from the door and hear voices of the detectives. Rika would typically use the sliding door to get inside. That one. The door was locked, but the mountain dogs had obtained a spare key a long time ago. They put the key in the keyhole, but it wouldn't go in smoothly. They were certain to make some kind of noise and they turned it. The detectives would notice them the minute they did that. They'd have to rush inside and defeat them in one swift burst. Phoenix 7 and 8 answered Shovel.
大鳥セブンより本部準備位置に到着突入指示を請う
高野です。綺麗に決めるのよ。行きなさい。
了解突入する
That's really... Come on. Okay, I guess we go ahead. Clack, clack. Turn the spare... Oh, I guess the spare key. In a hurry and opened the lock. By the time the detectives turned around, the door was already open and the two mountain dogs had stepped inside. They had aimed their weapons at the detectives whilst the latter was still turning around. In a fight like that, the first 2 seconds are the most crucial moments. The detectives collapsed, making minimal noise. There were needles stuck in their bodies, and those needles were connected via wires to the attackers' guns. Tasers. In other words, weapons those two had weren't ordinary guns. They were stun guns in the shape of firearms. Instead of bullets, they shoot out electric needles that electrocute their victims into unconsciousness. And then once they're unconscious, they could, like, stab them in the throat or something. Doesn't necessarily mean non-lethal. Normally there would be non-lethal weapons that allow the shooter to capture their victim without harming them much, but their tasers had been modified. I mean, even regular tasers can kill people. Like, I think technically they're not non-lethal weapons, but less lethal weapons. Dear. The two dogs started walking up the stairs as soon as they confirmed that the detectives were no longer breathing. In the next moment, they heard a loud noise above them.
こちら大鳥店 R 以下2名が感づいた2階の窓から飛び降りたぞ裏の茂みへ逃走している大鳥4、5そっちへ行くぞ制圧しろ大鳥4沈黙
So are they actually going to escape for now? Phoenix 4 spotted the two girls and started after them, but he suddenly stepped on something hard. Another trap. Rip headphone users. Ow. Pow pow pow. With a cheap sounding explosion, the area was filled with smoke. That was a trap Sadako had set using firework crackers. That had proven to be a very fortunate idea. The mountain dogs dropped to the ground, assuming they were under fire. That gave Riku and Sadako a second chance to escape. I mean, I guess I did say that Riku would probably survive the night. Yeah. Huh. Oh well.
なんなんですのあいつらは。リカの言う東京なんですの多分ね。いいから走って捕まったら殺されるわよ
Like your life depends on it. Because it does.
どうした応答しろ今の音は何だこちら大鳥5銃撃を受けた模様 R は突破した追撃するくそ感触玉か何かだ
I was going to say I was wondering what's different this time from previous routes, but I guess previous routes wouldn't have detectives, and so that's why they might not have been caught sneaking up because they didn't have to necessarily sneak up. They could go up and fool like Rika expecting them, and then turn the tables once they're already inside. And then Because, yeah, I mean, because I was thinking previous routes, Rika would know that this is the day that she's expected to die, know that it's coming soon, and would want the mountain dog's help. But in previous routes, I think the mountain dogs weren't supposed to be really protecting her much. I don't know. Oh well.
畜生め。
さとこちゃんね。
And she can just calmly be like, oh, ha ha ha, how fun.
やるわね。
ああ、情けな。近場の班は急行しろ。人家に逃げ込まれたらアウトだぞ。
So, reason being that they might lose their secrecy, which probably means that they've only cut the telephone wires to Rika's house and maybe the public phones as well. Not to everyone's houses, I guess.
大鳥18発見した。追跡中。応援を送れ。
Oh yeah, you totally need backup. It's not like you could probably kill them just with your gun, pointing at them, looking away.
二人は土地勘が強いわよ。早く抑えないと確実に見失うわ。
This wasn't a game of hide and seek. It was a game of tag, with bullets. Several men in uniform were chasing after Rika and Sadako. They weren't idiots, so they didn't waste energy on a futile act of shouting, "Wait!" This was a quiet, deadly game of tag, and in the middle of the night. Because you wouldn't want to play. You wouldn't want to play a deadly game of tag in the middle of the day. It just doesn't have the same energy to it, you know?
どこへ行きますの？バラバラになって追っ手を振り切りましょうです。落ち合うのはミーの家。地下の隠し部屋なら安全だし、外部と連絡も取れますです。
Sadako had no idea that Mion had a basement in her house, but she didn't have time to ask anything about it under her current circumstances. I wonder what Mion would think. It's like, huh? How do you know about that? Or maybe the Furude successor is expected to know. Who knows? All she did was nod. Bang! The next moment, I felt my left foot catch on something that fell down to the ground. I must have tripped on a rock or a piece of concrete.
Rika! Sadakoは逃げて! あんたも殺されちゃう!
But Sadako wouldn't move on without me. She came back to lend me a hand. I stood up without her help. This cost us too much time. One of the men had almost caught up with us. I didn't know what to do. But Sadako, upon seeing him, quickly reacted. I can imagine. Sadako ran towards him and kicked him with all her might. Her foot had landed right in his face. I wish I had a camera. Guess I was wrong. But why didn't he shoot? Maybe if they have sniper rifles. Sniper rifles aren't great for a chase. But if he had something like even semi-automatic, he should have been able to spray it slightly. There were two more of them right behind the first man. I can see them clearly now. They're the gardeners from that landscape company. They're wearing the same uniforms Okunogi is always wearing. They must be the mountain dogs. I'm certain that Takano is the culprit. Now that I know that, I can do something about it in the next world. But if I die now, will I lose my memory again? I can't die now. I need to survive so I can keep my memories. Like just survive until the next night, I guess. Sadako took something out of her pocket and threw it at them. It was something like sand, and it blinded them. However, even that could only buy us a few seconds. Sadako tried to run, but she froze as soon as they aimed their weapons at us. The stun guns are only shaped like firearms. Oh, okay, so yeah, they've got stun guns. That's not exactly a spray weapon. I forgot about that. Sadako, not knowing that, thought they were real guns. Knowing that she'll be shot if she turned and ran, Sadako tried to attack them instead. Of course, there were 3 of them, and only 2 little girls. So, yeah. Most would think it's impossible to drive them off, but Sadako didn't think about that. She had a 100% chance of dying if she tried to run. And she might as well fight back, because she might have a 1% chance of defeating them. Sadako is determined to save me, even at her own expense. But I can't stay in this world if it means losing Sadako. But you just need to stay in this world long enough, okay? I'm dying anyway. I'd rather die for Sadako's sake than lose her. But another me was shouting in my mind. If I don't survive this, I will lose this memory. If I die without keeping this memory, this life and everything I've learned will all be wasted. Should I escape and leave Sadako behind? Will we get a choice here, I wonder? That's right, I should use experience to my advantage in my next life. I should just let go of her in this world.
無理ね。
Okay, we don't get a choice.
それができる魔女なんかになれるものか。
But I know in my heart, there's no way I can win against these guys. I'm sure their backup will get here if we take our time to fight them. Should I fight them for her? Should I leave so I can confront my true enemy? Right after I say we don't get a choice, we get a choice. Okay, I'll just make a save here. Damn it. I was trying to right click and I think I accidentally maybe right clicked on the option. I don't even know which option we chose. I'm guessing, I think I chose option A, but I don't know which that was. I think it might have been something like yeah, I think it might have been that we're going to fight if she's screaming Sadako. Okay, so just for the future here, this isn't actually a choice. Let me show you. I'm just going to click once and I'm not going to touch anything. Just leave my mouse face so you can see. It literally just plays between the 2. So it's like her point of view. Where she basically just goes from, should I save her or not? I'll save her. Anyway, back to the finale. Yeah, you don't know it yet, but back to the finale for me. Sadako's bravery gives me courage. If I left her, I'd lose my motivation to defeat fate. I don't care if I lose my memories. It only took 100 years for me to get this information. I don't care if I have to spend another 100 years in the same dream. I can't leave Sadako.
子、下がって。二人で戦おう。リカ、逃げなさいって言いましたですのよ。
I'd noticed something. They're only aiming at Satoko. There must be a reason why they can't shoot me. So I stood in front of Satoko to protect her. Just as I expected, they put their guns down and prepared to take us out without weapons.
あんたらは山犬ね。やっぱり黒幕は高野だったのね。
Okunagi himself is fair.
私もバカね。あんたたちの正体を知りながら逃げることを選ばないなんて。でもね、私は逃げないの。ここであんたたちに殺されるのが運命だとしてもね。運命なんてね、教えてくれた人がいるから。
They must think this is my final speech. They let me talk until I was finished. That sounds stupid.
バカな奴らね。だからあんたたちは金魚が救えないんだ。
You know, apart from all the other times where they've killed you. Just, you know. Or the next moment, one of them dropped to the ground. Katie had run toward him and kicked him from behind. I was wondering about, like, if any of the others would show up, maybe. Katie had kicked him right in the small of his back, and the dog was squirming on the ground. The other two tried to retaliate, but they were too late. Myeon grabbed one of the guy's arms from behind and flipped him down to the ground. Must be some kind of martial art. I've seen something like that in an action movie before. Rona tried to push the remaining dog down with all her strength, but that wasn't enough to take him out. Oh. She needs to be in cute mode to be able to do that. He tried to aim his gun at Rena. She'd already done what she was supposed to. All she needed to do was get his attention. Shion had snuck up behind him when she fired a stun gun into his neck. Because yeah, hers has also been illegally modified, hasn't it? Oh, did I do that?